Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Eel Podcast with your hosts, Scott and Mike. In today's episode, Mike's going to go over a little bit about DC news that has apparently been, new to us. It might not be new to you guys. But then we're going to move on to season 2 of Teen Titans, and then ending with a character spotlight from me. So, Mike, take it away.
So technically, two things were announced. This
You
was
lied to
actually,
me already.
yeah, well, I got to keep you on your toes. So 2 weeks ago, they announced that they are starting to cast for the dynamic duo. There was actually a trailer
Wait,
for the.
is that Nightwing and Red Hood or Nightwing
It's
and
Nightwing,
Robin?
Nightwing, and Robin. We don't know which
Oh, we don't know which
Robin.
Robin. Okay, sorry.
Um, there was a trailer for the audition tape, like getting it set up. Like there was a they were showing it like a high speed car driving around and uh, just basically showing the recording of how they're producing it. Um,
So they had a trailer about their audition process.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That
So
that's
that's
definitely
that's why I didn't send it to you because I'm just like this is weird. So
that's definitely it's definitely something different.
it is. Um, so like I said, uh, they're they're looking for someone with very little acting experience, if I remember correctly. Um,
I would imagine it's just somebody who hasn't been in the movies recently would be my guess. Somebody who isn't
I
famous
mean,
because I would argue that they're not looking for somebody who doesn't have any experience. It's more the fact of they're looking for a no name.
well, they even in the thing it said like anybody can apply for it, so it's like like literally anybody off the street. They like said it on, yeah, like you. um, you can finally have your dream.
Somehow I get cast as the new Penguin. Like I auditioned for Nightwing.
That would be you. Um,
And it's sad. It would be funny as all hell.
the next thing that was announced with it was announced this week is that they are coming out with a DC crime TV series. Um,
Ooh, I actually did hear about this.
yep, it's a mockumentary. It is hosted by Jimmy Olsen. It's going to be about I guess it's about like the Daily Planet and their investigation skills and all that stuff. Rumor is that Gorilla Grodd is going to play a major role in the series, and Lois and Clark will not be in the show. Um,
Correct.
I think it's a little weird that they won't include Lois, but I mean,
Well, weirdly enough, I would imagine they don't want to have to pay her.
that's
No,
kind of like
I think you're correct. Would it make sense character-wise for her to be a part of it? But I think it's just money-wise. That's going to be the only reason.
yeah. I mean, I guess it really depends on how
So how
big
long?
of a character they want Lois Lane to be in the whole overarching DC universe, because obviously, um, Superman is going to get paid more than Lois Lane, but I mean, I still imagine
Well,
you are
no,
correct with
they got
Lois
paid.
Lane will get paid more than Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, but actually, weirdly enough, I think her and Superman got paid the same amount for that movie.
Really? Oh, I'm surprised.
And
Well,
weirdly
I
enough,
guess
Lex Luthor got paid the most.
I feel like Lex Luthor, he's the bigger actor of the
Oh no, no,
three.
no! It makes sense because of his name alone. I'm just stating it's hilarious to me that Lex Luthor got paid more than Superman did.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong;
that
they
is
got
funny.
paid they got paid a lot, but I'm just saying like it just makes me laugh. Um, so is it like a series or is it like gonna be? Is it gonna be like an actual series on HBO or is it? I mean, HBO Max, or is it gonna be kind of like little like I don't want to phrase this. I don't even know how to describe what I was thinking of.
I mean, from my understanding, the description that have seen is it is a DC crime TV show. So I'm assuming it's going to be something that's airing on HBO
So I would
or
imagine.
whatever platform they want to
All
put it
right. So
on.
the idea is it's a show that would be in the universe that DCU is in. But is it like Jimmy Olsen is hosting it? Like he is like by the way, we have crime TV here. Like, is it going to be something like that, or is it the idea is like they just happen to be documenting, like it's like showing how Daily Planet investigates crimes, or you have no idea, and I'm asking you the
I have no idea. The description that I've seen. Okay, this is the exact description. Mockumentary show about true crime in the DCU, hosted by Jimmy Olsen.
yeah. So what that makes me think, right, is
So
how it's going to be set up is it's going to be like it's going to sound really weird to say, but remember the like the late night host in Superman, the guy
yeah,
who was yeah. It's gonna be like something like that, but we're gonna see it on our screens. So the whole show is gonna be like of him, Jimmy Olsen, being like talking about all these things going on in like the documentary style esque thing. So it's gonna obviously it's fake because it's fictional characters, but the idea is they're giving it the feel of a documentary.
okay. So what the I just looked it up on an AI gave a small description. It says show format, a fictional docuseries that investigates crimes within the DC universe, much like a true crime TV show.
Yeah, I can't wait to see like who is gonna be because I guarantee you they're gonna be introducing a lot of side characters where you're gonna see like GCPD, Metropolis
Oh.
PD.
So this says each season will cover a different case, and season one's focus will be Gorilla Grodd. So it'll be uncovering everything that's going on with him. So okay, and it says it will release on HBO Max.
Okay, I'm interested in it. It's gonna be weird, but I think I'm gonna like it
Yeah,
because it's
it's
gonna be
just
like the crimes
it.
of Gorilla Grodd.
This definitely seems something that unique. So
Oh, for sure, for sure. And James Gunn made it clear like all the other stuff that he's doing, although it's all going to be connected, they're all going to be its own thing, like its own genre, its own type of thing. So
yep,
like it makes sense that they're doing different things. But look at, I mean, that's honestly, weirdly enough, I'm interested in it. I'm also
yeah.
curious where they're going to be bringing Gorilla Grodd because I had heard that Gorilla Grodd had been confirmed to be a villain, like a recent coming up soon type of thing. I didn't know for what, so apparently it's this first
Well, I mean,
potentially.
we've already seen Gorilla Grodd in the DCU.
Yes,
He already
yes,
he already appeared in Creature Commandos.
yes, but it was a future thing.
Yes, but
No, no,
I
but you
mean,
get what I'm saying. You're correct. Yes, we've seen him, but like this is the first time he's actually being like I guess you would say introduced properly. Like he's not just somebody who happens to be going to be maybe the future. This is now him what he's done.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess I agree with how you're phrasing that because I was
I
going to
get what
say
you're
with
saying,
the
but this
way
is
that they're
not the
setting
first
up,
thing. Yeah,
yeah, the way
it's
that they're
not the
setting
first
up
thing
the
he's
universe,
presented.
he's an established villain, and it's just now
Yes,
going to be uncovering what he's been doing.
pretty much what
Um,
he's done in the universe is going to be like a backstory for him. I would
yeah,
imagine, like all his crimes, which will be interesting. Which means they're already planning for other seasons.
yeah. I mean, it's one
Which
of those things. I mean,
they can have an
with
unlimited amount of seasons if it's
yeah,
successful.
depend if it's successful. Depend like they could just continue to do this with different villains, and there's technically no end in sight. And I mean, even if you do season one with Grodd, he can come back. If he comes back at a later date, you can uncover more crimes and
or
what he's done.
or like he so here's my thought process on that because I think we're saying the same thing maybe, but the idea of like so we have him do this right the season one thing, then he gets his introductory to the actual DCU in the sense of like we see him interact with actual characters other than this right, and then he disappears for a little bit and then he's going to join again. Well, what did he do in between? Well, we have the crime syndicate ready to tell you about it now, or whatever he
Yeah, that's
calls
basically
himself.
what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just decided to do that.
Just
But
your classic fluff it up.
pretty much. Oh wait, wasn't there a trailer for the Lanterns?
I didn't see one.
Oh,
I
maybe it's
didn't.
not.
I know people have been saying like, "Oh, Lanterns is still set to release in
26.
2026."
Yeah. That's pretty much all I know then. All right. Anyway, let's
Um,
move on to season 2 of Teen Titans. Go.
it's not Teen Titans Go. Stop it.
No, but the song says it, so therefore it's Teen Titans Go!
It's a very different show. Um,
It is a very different show, is correct.
but
So,
oh, I mean, this season just I know we talked about it a little bit the other day, but it's like
we didn't go into
we
detail.
we did not remember. Like, I definitely did not remember how good overall season 2 in particular was, because
I
it
I thought this was a later season. So, all the stuff that was good about this, right? Like basically all the Tara stuff. Let's be honest. I
well, I
was
mean, it still had some great other episodes with
Oh no,
it,
no,
but
it did, but you understand where I'm coming from. Where I'm like, you get where I'm saying is like the fact of like it was the the incredible storytelling I felt was like that was cohesive, like went all the way together. Was
was Tara.
obviously was the Tara thing, but you're right. The other parts were just good, just as good, but they were different. They weren't part of the story.
The
They were
thing
just
that
good individual
like
stuff.
got me with this is that I did not like I remembered everything that happened with the Terra stuff. I just did not remember that it was split up so much. I
Yeah, I
it
I
was almost half the season, and that's great. I just didn't remember it because, especially with how season 1 went, where it was only a couple of episodes with the actual Slade building up, and that the fact that this actually, I think, what would we say, it was 6 out of the 13 episodes featured Terra in some way. Um,
yes.
so that's great. Didn't expect it, and then obviously the episode that we had talked about where Starfire gets jumped into the future and the Teen Titans just completely
Like how it
fell
starts.
apart. It started that way immediately. That was hilarious. I was not expecting that.
I mean, I'll say this: it was definitely that was a great way to start it off. It
Yeah,
showed so season one was basically about how they really need to work together, right? In season two, the beginning, at least the first episode, showed us like they literally, if they're not together, they're I don't want
yeah,
to say they're useless because I don't think that's the right word I want to use, but like they significantly fall apart.
yeah. Season, like you said, season 1 showed how they had to work together, and literally each episode showed when one of the members gets taken out, they fall apart, and they have to work together as a whole to be really successful. And this just solidifies it with like Starfire disappearing, the team falls apart except for Nightwing. Nightwing is, thriving on his own.
Well, I would argue that he is still kind of like not thriving because socially, he's basically Batman.
Oh, I mean, yes,
But I
that's.
will agree with you. Like superhero wise, yes, he's thriving.
I mean, even still, like, I mean, Beast Boy is hiding in a cage performing because he's afraid of the people because they
Cyborg
abuse
is
him. Cyborg is
strapped
a
to a battery, most likely a car battery at that point.
yep, locked in the tower because he's the only one
Yes,
remaining there. Raven is gone.
she's had a mental
Completely
breakdown
solitude,
after Starfire left.
and then Robin is turns into
Poor
Nightwing and is
Robin.
fighting crime. So I
So my
mean,
only complaint, I think I've said this to you when we first discussed that we were going to talk about or rewatch Teen Titans, was the only issue I had about Nightwing, like Teen Titans Nightwing, was the long hair. That was it.
I don't really.
No, no, no. It was just one of those things I remember as a kid not liking. This time around, I don't think I cared. But like as a kid, I remember seeing it and being like, I don't like the long hair.
I mean, to be honest with me, I just pictured Nightwing with long hair. So
Well, you know what's funny? It literally just makes me think of Damien.
I mean, what's funny is that I don't think really Damien has as long hair as Nightwing in most iterations.
No, but in Injustice he does.
Did he?
Yeah, when he becomes Nightwing.
Okay. I didn't remember if he had long hair. I knew that when like they went to Injustice 2, he didn't have long hair.
No, but he
So
was Robin then technically.
yeah, he
Which
went
is
back to being Robin, which was just like so like that story kind of like was really messed up, to be honest, looking back on it.
but no, season one. Game one, when we see Regime Nightwing, it is obviously Damian Wayne and it is long hair. I don't think it's as long as the one from this show, but it's like shoulder length, which is longer than what most Bat people have.
Well, the guys at least.
Correct.
Um, let's see. Okay, this Nightwing has short hair. Um, but it from Injustice, but
But
it's the
that's but
but
that's
it's
the
the
Dick Grayson.
yep. I was about to say it's the Dick Grayson one. Um, all right, and then Damian Wayne. Yes, he does have the. Yes, Damian does have the long hair, and what's funny is that actually the Damian Wayne Nightwing, I think, actually has longer hair than most of the Nightwing iterations.
No, I know. But what I'm saying
Um,
is, I don't think it's as long as like the Teen Titans one that we just saw.
no,
But
it's longer.
oh, it's longer.
Yeah, it's longer. Like that one is slightly. This one is slightly below his shoulders. Like it's like at that level.
Yeah, but the Teen Titans one is like halfway down his back.
It wasn't that far, was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
look that up. I'm almost positive. Don't get me wrong. Damian Wayne is definitely like that. That one was definitely like the longest in a long time, obviously. But I mean, like his hair was pretty damn long. Because you got to remember too, like this Dick Grayson isn't that tall.
uh, honestly,
It looks the
okay.
same.
I think it's the Teen Titans one is a little bit longer, but I don't think it's as long as you're saying it is.
Okay,
At
fair
least
enough.
from the pictures.
No, no, no. Here's the thing. I'm fine with that. You understand where I was coming from. I think it's closer than you think. But anyway, um, I also love that we went with like they went with classic Nightwing in this though too, like his weapons and everything else, which I thought was kind of cool. Um, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of anything else. Like realistically, I mean, I love the episode overall, but I mean, Nightwing obviously was the highlight of the episode. Starfire obviously was as well, but I mean,
Well, Starfire was the
yeah,
highlight because
she was yeah.
I
But
liked the villain. I liked how if he didn't have his technology, he aged rapidly. I did like that.
well,
Um,
it was weird because he aged rapidly at one point, but then he also de-aged to a baby.
that's because Cyborg messed with his technology.
So I always took it as so this is where it throws me off, right? So when it comes to that stuff, and again, this is the where time travel messes with me so much, because like the idea was he would then connect to the timeline in which he's in, which means he would be a baby. Obviously, not the first time. I'm talking about later, when he goes into well, her future, his past.
I think what happened. I'm so what I'm
Regardless, the
taking it.
machine was destroyed, damaged, or however you want to phrase it.
What I'm taking it is that when he first got sent back in time with Starfire attacking him and she took it away because they didn't really show what happened to him.
That's fair.
I'm I'm guessing that either when he's lost in time because he's out of place and messing with the timeline.
So he goes into a different setting where who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, like either he because the timeline is trying to fix itself, it's trying to erase him, like say, okay, we're getting rid of
Yes,
you, so
I
we're
would have
going
to.
to
Yes.
we're aging you rapidly, or it's possible that he got launched out of a different point and be like it a couple of years had passed, so he was living his life until Starfire appears and he can go get his technology back. It's one of those two things because like I said, we didn't see
But
what
also
happened to him.
forget too. That
Yeah.
is also true because he disappeared first.
Yes, exactly. Like we didn't see what happened to him.
You're right.
Um,
You're right. You're right. That's actually a good point. I didn't think about that.
and then when Cyborg, when the Teen Titans start fighting him, I don't remember. I think it was Cyborg, but it could have been somebody else.
It was all of
One
them,
of
to be honest with you. That's what I. So
yeah, but
actually,
someone
weird.
someone actually like hit the thing, and I don't
It
remember.
was Beast Boy with his when he was the time
Oh,
traveler.
right, he slashed it. Right. So when he did that, he damaged it, and the thing went out of whack and sent him into a baby. That's right. Beast Boy slashed it. Um,
Um, but no, it was a good episode. I definitely liked it. And then the second episode was it's hilarious because it's every dog has its day. It's where the green dog. Um,
that one just was like so random.
it was the most random, but also the most wholesome too. It was so weird. Like it's one of those where it's like you would expect this episode to be like a crapshoot, and then you watch and you're like, I'm entirely entertained the entire time.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
like
just like the dog is messing with them, and it just had fun. It's like he said, he was having too much fun and didn't want to fix the situation.
correct. I also like that Beast Boy gets turned into a pet. Um, Also, the one weird thing is, I guess it makes sense because the alien dog shapeshifts, that it the collar would change based on the size and shape of whoever was
Hmm.
wearing it. But it
Yeah,
messed with me initially when all of a sudden he started changing into different animals and the collar was still on him. But then I realized, like, oh, that dog also shapeshifts, not like Beast Boy, obviously, but it like so it has to change based on what the wearer is doing.
yep. Because otherwise, then it would. That's exactly what happened. It escapes, and then they're stuck. So I'm curious how he got out of the collar. I mean, obviously, we never know for sure, but
No, no. I would imagine that he was be able to like use his tongue to get the remote or something.
oh,
Um,
also true. Yeah.
because I would imagine the big rock guy sleeps at some point. Um, but yeah, this one was definitely a random episode because I don't did we even get we only got the name of the rock alien. We didn't even get a name of the dog, right?
No, we never got the dog. We just
Okay,
it's pet. That's all he's got called as
his pet
a
dog, his pet dog.
yeah. Your and the rock guy was To Toto, I think.
Togo.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think it was Toto.
No, Todo, I think. Toto Teen Titans. Let me.
While Mike's looking that up, we're gonna slightly get ourselves ready for the third episode, which was Terra's introduction. Mike, when you get a chance after you look that up, do you know who voices Terra?
No.
You should.
You
So
want to tell
basically,
me?
like, so no. So I don't think you're ever gonna get their names, so I'm not gonna pretend that way. However, they've they're a voice actor for a game that you recently played.
Okay.
And they played the main character.
Game that I recently played. Well, the two most recent games that I played is Legends ZA and Ghost of Tsushima.
All right, well, less recent than those.
uh, how far back am I looking?
I mean, I would think this year, the beginning of this year.
Beginning of this year. Is it a game that we played together?
No,
What system is it on?
I believe it's on. Is it just on the PS4, 5, 4? Is it just PlayStation?
Oh, if
I'm
it's
not.
just
I
if
don't.
it
I'm not as confident about it only being on PlayStation though. I'll say it that way. I think it is, but I'm not. I'm not like
oh
100% confident.
was it Last of Us Part 2?
Oh! All of a sudden, we now hear it.
Brother, you expect me you I don't remember what I did yesterday. You want me to remember what I did at the beginning of the year?
So anyway, she actually did the voice acting and um the body mechanics to Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2. So she also voiced her for Part 1, but she also did the motion, like the movement and everything else for
Yeah,
the second game. And she's the voice of Terra.
that's cool.
So basically, this is the introduction to Terra. Terra wants to, be a part of the group, but also not at the same time. We find out that
Soto. Soto
Soto. Okay, that makes sense.
Soto is the
I
rock
knew
guy's
it
name.
wasn't. I knew you weren't right, but I couldn't think of what it was.
I was close.
Yeah, I don't think like I should have said like you weren't so far off that you were like because you were in the realm. I just couldn't. I knew what you said was not right.
Soto's dog. That's what they refer to him as.
That's right,
Soto's
Soto's
dog.
dog. So Terra gets introduced. She, I will say, she appeared to have more control over her powers in the beginning of this episode than I remember.
I think it was because she's panicking, she can control it. But when she outside of that, then because under stressful situation, you can do a lot with your powers. But outside of that, when you try to really control it and whatever, that's when she loses it. Especially with a lot of this stuff is emotional based, so she doesn't have control over her emotions, so she doesn't have full control of her powers. Um, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, you get lucky sometimes, but overall,
No,
uh,
I get your point,
nothing.
but I also like so the whole thing is she tells Beast Boy her secret that she can't control her powers, and that she caused a lot of damage at a lot of places. Um, and then Robin comes in at the end of the episode, being like, "Don't worry, we'll help you learn how to control your powers since we know you can't." And she flips the hell out and runs away.
Hmm.
And I, for some reason, I don't know why, but she disappears after that. But we also get like foreshadowing of Slade being in the background too, a lot to this episode.
Slade is always watching.
Always watching. Um,
Um,
then it was a good episode. It was a good introduction to her. I
yeah,
felt it also kind of gave us enough to know like her basically her whole life basically. And then the next episode was I actually I don't think I remember this episode as like I think I had to get like almost halfway through the episode before I realized like I've obviously seen this episode, which was Only Human. It
yep.
was Cyborg versus Atlas, the robot.
I
And
remember this episode. I just did not remember that he lost twice. Um,
I felt like it was longer and short. Like some parts were longer and some parts were shorter than I remember. If you understand what I mean.
for me, this episode overall felt longer. But it like I said, I did not remember. I remember when he beat Atlas at the video game. Atlas shows up at the tower, beats him up, and takes the
I
team.
yeah, and then I thought he then beats him the second
Go,
time, and he does
yeah,
not.
yeah. And I did not remember him beat losing the second time. But like this whole scene of like him reaching his limit, like I remember that. I just didn't remember that was at the second fight, and I thought,
Yeah, the 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 reaching of the limit and then surpassing your limit was definitely like obviously the main point of the whole story, and
mhm.
that although Cyborg is robotic, he is still human.
Yep.
Um, and I just thought it was interesting. I
No, it's
like the
good that,
whole
like, no matter what, everyone can overcome their limitations if they work hard enough at it. Like that, like the
yeah.
that big message.
No, that's
Um,
kind of the point, and it's like nobody's
and
perfect.
obviously, like the whole situation of, it's a big message of even like, um, never doubt yourself. You can, anybody can overcome anything. Like even like, like the big message of oh, you're only human, I'm pure robot, so I'm perfect, like this the uh a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of racism. You can overcome that. Like it's just they're, because it's a kids show, they're trying to push it in a different direction.
No, correct, and then also too, it kind of brings us back to Mr. Fix It too, where
Hmm.
it's like, oh no, your imperfections need to be removed, which are in its eyes the human part.
Yep. I remember there was one episode later in the Teen Titans that really focuses on like racism and stereotypes and stuff, and it was a Starfire episode. So I'm wondering when we're going to be getting that episode. Um,
Interesting. Oh, I know which one it is. I know which one it is. Yes, 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 yes. I don't remember when, but I do know what it is. Um,
we can't say when we know when things are coming, because
yeah,
outside of the
no,
main plot point, like everything we,
honestly, I've been very wrong so
yeah.
much. Actually, the one I was thinking about you talking about was when Cyborg infiltrates the Hive. Because he's not robotic in the Hive. He's Rocky, or Rock, or Stone.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's what I was actually thinking about. But then you said Starfire, and I went, "Oh, never mind. I remember."
yeah.
Um,
I think I don't. I think it involves something. I
no,
don't.
it's the yeah, it's the fact that he's I don't, can't remember if he's an alien or not, but it's a guy who then thinks Tamaranians Tamaranians?
Yes. Oh, that's right. There's someone shows up and calls her a nickname that everyone
It's a
thinks is a
slur.
compliment, but it's actually a slur.
Yes.
That's right. I thought I was about to say I think it was her sister that showed up, but no, it was
No, no,
definitely
no,
was
no.
not her sister.
It was not her sister. It was kind of like a Captain Adam type of character. Like he's made of energy and everything else, but like I can't remember now. But we'll
No,
see.
I don't remember him at all. Obviously, when we get to the episode, I'll remember. But yeah, no, right now I can't picture it.
So episode 5 brings up actually one of my favorite villains, Control Freak. It's Fear itself.
You mentioned
Um,
that, yep, about how you don't know if you take him as a joke or not now, and
well, I don't. This episode was not him. You know what I mean? There is
yeah,
an episode later that is his. This is an introduction to him, obviously, but I mean, like this wasn't his episode. This was Raven's episode.
yep. I liked that he was the cause of this, but it
Yes,
really he
but he
really
also
didn't do
yeah,
much.
correct. No, correct. That's actually what I love the most too. So the idea was he was attacking a video store,
Yep,
and like
old
a
time blockbuster.
blockbuster. Well, they couldn't use blockbuster back then; they couldn't afford the rights. So, anyway, so he's bringing all these things to life, and the Titans have to defeat these things and try to stop the remote from using the remote. So anyway, um, they're talking about this movie that's coming out or came out because it's in DVD or
Yeah,
VH whatever. Yeah, I think
VHS
it's
back
DVD.
then.
But it looked like a disc, so that's why I said DVD.
Oh, did it? I don't remember.
Anyway, well,
Oh,
DVDs did
then yeah,
exist then.
early 2000s, yeah, DVDs, yeah.
It definitely wasn't Blu-ray, but it definitely was. Remember when? Oh, that's such a whole other thing.
We're dating
Oh,
ourselves.
yeah, Blu-ray was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the only way we watch movies, and now we stream. Um.
Then there's
Anyways,
4K now.
there is also 4K now. But anyway, so the idea was that there was this new horror film that was coming out, and Beast Boy really wanted to see it. But obviously, the cardboard cutout comes out, and Raven does not want to admit that she's afraid. And that's basically the
Well,
whole point of the episode.
yeah. Well, what happened? Because once they beat Control Freak, uh, Beast Beast Boy wants to rent the movie, and so
He
they
does.
they rent it and they go watch it. And that after watching it, Raven does not admit that she's afraid, and that's when she loses control of her powers because she is trying to suppress one of her emotions.
Hmm.
Um, and Robin figures it out, but her
Her magic
emotions.
stops him from
Yep,
saying
from
it to her
solving it.
because she needs to figure it out herself.
Exactly. It's a great episode where it's like you have to be
This was a
open to
phenomenal.
yourself.
This was a phenomenal episode. Most of the Raven storylines are incredible.
Oh yeah.
Um, although to be fair, I don't think we've had a bad storyline. Period.
It is nothing's been bad. Some have been better than
I
others,
will
but it's
agree.
like
Yes, but I feel like I've always liked Ravens better, but I think it's because of the emotional piece.
I was gonna say, yeah, like I think out of at least mm, with us, I feel like Ravens is more like of a personal connection, whereas like everyone else, because you and I don't experience racism and in stereotypes and that kind of stuff. So like Cyborg and Starfire, we can't exactly relate to.
And Robin's his own thing.
Robin is his own thing, like
Can't
just
nobody can relate to him.
at least not this Robin.
No,
Um,
not this Robin is
but
Robin.
like Raven, like being able to accept like being vulnerable and understanding your emotions and being willing to ask for help, like those kind of things is like it can hit us a little bit more.
Hmm.
um
Agreed.
so like I could definitely see how that those can connect with us better than the other ones.
No, absolutely. Episode 6 was a hilarious one. I forgot how funny this one was. It's the date with Destiny. It's where Killer Moth tries to take over the bridge to get Robin to take his daughter to junior prom.
Yep. Yeah, and Killer Moth just like, please let just do this so I can be in peace. It's like it was, oh my god.
It. I also forgot that this is where they get Sluggy.
Yep. Yep.
Because so obviously we're going to be seeing Killer Moth again. obviously. This was definitely the weirdest introduction to a character, I feel. Obviously, this is actually a Batman villain.
Yeah.
So I just find it funny that he's going against the Teen Titans. Um, don't get me wrong, it makes sense. It's just funny to me. Um, I also love the difference, the massive difference between Killer Moth and his daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, but overall, I mean, this also showed Starfire showing that she likes Robin and that
The
Robin likes
jealousy.
her,
Yep. Yep.
um, which I think was interesting. And then that Kitten was dating the Spider guy. What was his name?
Fang.
Derek. Fang. Fang. You know how hard it was. I know I said Derek.
Derek. Okay.
I'm like, oh yeah, his name's Derek, and you go, his name is Fang, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is. I'm like, okay, we're close.
Oh my god, that was great. Was that his human name?
No,
Is
no,
that?
no, no. I think he's only Fang, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay. That I'm looking. Yeah, no, it's only Fang. All right, where'd you get Derek?
Mike, if I could tell you where I get these names from, you would know Derek.
You're right. I don't know what goes in your head with this. When it comes to names, I know I get names wrong, but at least I get them like I try to get a little bit
Mike,
close. But you just like out of left field when you don't know something.
I'm a level you couldn't understand. So anyway,
I like at the end of the episode when Kitten and Fang get back together and they start making out. Like everyone is like, nope, nope, I'm done. Goodbye.
yeah, no, but they also don't show it.
No, they don't. No,
But it's enough. They show enough of everyone's reactions to be disgusted, which I find interesting.
that's
And
all we
also,
need to know.
yeah, I also like when he gets arrested, his spider legs have to be tied above his head.
Yep.
And then when he's sent into prison or in the police vehicle, his father-in-law is in there.
With each other. Yep. Yeah.
But no, this was a good episode. It also showed like,
Kitten got arrested too, right?
well, we don't see it actually. We see him get arrested. We assume she gets arrested, but we don't actually see it.
I know the other two did, but I didn't remember if she got put into a police vehicle
We
too or
don't
not.
see it. I'll say that,
Okay.
and I can say that with confidence. This next episode was, I remember this one very vividly. I don't know why. I, this one was another one where I could never have placed it. Transformation. It's where Starfire is hitting puberty.
Yep. I did not remember it until I started seeing it, and as soon as I saw like the pimple come out of her head, yes, I remember this one. Yep.
Actually, it was the beginning where they do the narration of it is what I remembered the most, because I was like, oh, this is Starfire. This is where she gets all the stuff. So I will say I don't remember. I couldn't remember all the stuff that she got. So like I remember the bump on her head. I remember the claws. I remember the hair. But I didn't
I
remember
didn't
the
remember the
things on
neck.
the neck.
Yep.
There was also a few other things too.
The scales.
Oh, the scales. That's right, the scales. Um, did I say I remembered the fingernails? I don't remember if I did.
I think you did. Yeah. You said
Yeah.
the bump, the nails, and the hair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then obviously I remembered the pupil. No, catalyst. Catalyst? Callius? Basically the cocoon. Um,
Oh, the catalyst.
catalyst. Thank you. And so anyway, the whole point of the episode is apparently Starfire is afraid that everyone thinks of her as a
Oh
freak.
no, chrysalis.
Chrysalis, you're right.
Chrysalis, because it's a
Um,
chrysalis eater.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
The creature that's trying to eat Starfire. It's a chrysalis eater.
Oh, eater. Sorry, I thought you said chrysalis ear, and then I was like, what?
Only her ear gets crystallized.
Yeah, I was like, Mike, that's not what happened. But anyway, so the idea is so Starfire flies away from planet Earth because she thinks she's turning into a monster. Then the Teen Titans go looking for her because they want to help her out. Anyway, so who do they face that Starfire helps out in, but she's covered in all the clothing?
Plasmas.
Plasma's thinking.
Because then he shoots his acid on or whatever the gunk on her, and she loses the clothes, and that's when she flies away.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, she goes to all these different planets, and the Teen Titans go to the same planets. And then
I
obviously
loved
she's
the iteration of them trying to track her down, where they're like communicating with the people and like trying to recreate how she looks, and they're like,
Beast Boy.
yeah, they use Beast Boy or just their own animations because I mean, obviously with the cartoons, they like with these old cartoon. I mean, not really, can't really say old cartoons, but a
This
big.
particular this particular one did a lot of like more of like the old school, like Looney Tunes esque
Yeah, that's what I was
animation.
gonna say. Like that's the benefit of like cartoons versus live action is you can have that over exaggeration of how they're looking.
Yes.
It adds so much to these characters. It's great.
Yeah, and then Starfire comes out looking normal, except she has laser eyes. Um,
All of that for laser eyes.
yeah, that's the thing that gets me. But apparently, it's because so like her transformation was obviously different than her sister's because her sister just turned purple.
Yep, it was. She said she turned purple for 3 days, and that was it.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, so obviously she's now stronger. Um, I don't know if physically she's stronger, but she's just more powerful in the sense of like her energy and everything else.
I mean, I
Because
feel like it's one. I feel like it's one of those things where, like, as she ages, she's gaining strength in all
I know,
sense.
but I you're right. But that's why I'm saying I don't think the cocoon itself gave her like more strength. I think she just gained more powers from it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they didn't really specify,
Um,
so
no, they didn't. The only thing that was clear as day was laser eyes.
yeah.
Um, and then they win and they go back home.
Yep, and the chrysalis eater gets eaten by the giant piranha plant that was trying to eat her earlier.
No, they was trying to eat Starfire and then didn't like her taste. Um,
Yes.
so then we have episode 8, which was the Titan Rising, which is just Terra coming back.
Yep. Terra
And then
returns.
Slade trying to bring the Teen Titans Tower into the excuse me, into the ground, correct? Isn't this the episode, excuse me, with his snakes or
Yep,
earthworm?
yep. This is the episode where Terra is trying to gain Raven's trust. Um,
Yeah, cuz she pretty much already has everyone else's.
Everyone else loves her and is ready to have her back. Not so much Robin. Robin is like iffy, but
Well,
Raven.
I think for Robin it was more the fact of like it's not so much a trust thing. It was more of the fact of like let me rephrase it this way. I don't think he had a problem with her character. It was more the fact he couldn't trust her powers. That. I feel like that was the bigger difference.
Yeah,
Where Raven just thought it was weird that she's all of a sudden back, and that she didn't trust her about controlling her powers.
I mean, it was definitely. I know when at one point Raven and Robin had talked about how I don't trust her, and Robin said everyone deserves a second chance. So I think I think in term, yes, you're definitely right about him not trusting that she has control over powers. Definitely agree with that. But I think because it's one of those things where she ran away once, can I trust her that she won't abandon us when we need her,
Hmm.
if we allow her to come into our lives. So especially because this isn't just Robin, it's Batman mentality. So it's like, once you break someone's trust once, in that universe, how easy is it to gain that back? At least that's how I see it. But obviously the main focal point was what.
No. I'm looking at the dates of these episodes, and it's throwing me off.
Oh, the release dates.
Yeah, because yeah, that's weird. Okay. Put it this way: the way this goes is episode 10 was like March 20 of 2004, and then episode 11 came out August 7th of the same year. So it was a huge gap.
That's weird.
And then season 3 starts a week after season 2 ended.
That would drive me insane as a kid if that actually happened.
It did, but I don't think we knew because in our minds it was just like, oh, we have to wait till because we would have thought it was a new season. We didn't know it was the not the end of season 2. You know what I'm saying?
There has to be a mistake. All right, let's see. Winner take all is a week after that. Betrayal is, huh? July 31st. So 4 months after
Hmm.
Fractured is a week after that.
No, I know, but then you go to season 3. So the season 2 finale is August 21st, and then you
Yep.
go to season 3, and I believe it's August 28th.
Yep. You're correct. That's so weird. I was gonna
Uh,
say like, oh, maybe like it's a mid-season break, but
but no, it's not the
that's
mid-season.
yeah. Like I would have understood it if like they stopped maybe around when Titan Rising when Terra returned.
No,
Like
I would
they
never
took,
get that. Which
but
also makes it also makes more sense to me why I thought that this was more like 2 seasons, because there was a huge gap in between it
that
when I
that
was a
does
kid.
make sense. Yep. No,
Um,
you're not as crazy as I thought you were.
no. So anyway, so Titan Rising is just Raven. Sorry, Terra trying to build up the trust to Raven, and is successful at the end
Hmm.
of the episode.
Yep.
Um,
And they heavily hint that she is with Slade at the end of the episode when they gave her Titan beeper
yep.
and her hair covers half of her face
Yes, and
and
she has
saying I
only
can't.
one eye.
Yep. And her saying I can't believe they actually trust me. That was look. Obviously, I imagine when I was a kid I didn't pick up on that, but now I'm just like, oh wow, that's blatantly in her face.
No, absolutely. So then episode 9 was Winner Take All, which was the tournament in another dimension where we have Robin, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Gizmo, Aqualad, Wildebeest, Sunspot? No, Hotspot,
Hotspot.
and Speedy.
Correct. This was the first introduction of Wildebeest, Speedy, Hotspot, and
That's it.
Master of Games.
Yes, but I think this is the only time we see Masters of Games.
I don't remember. I'm just
That's
saying
fine.
like these are all new characters.
Yes. So anyway, the idea is he's bringing all these heroes, and I'm putting that in quotes, together to battle in a tournament so they can win the ultimate prize, which apparently is when they lose that he absorbs their powers.
Yep. And
Um, Robin
the
is very
the winner
much
gets to not be a trophy, I guess.
well. It's never clear what the actual
Yeah, it's never clear what actually happens to the winner because, Robin challenged him to winner take all.
correct.
So obviously,
We don't know.
yeah, I'm assuming that he just teleports him home and, or somewhere. But
Correct. Um, so anyway, the idea is he then the idea is the master of games basically absorbs all their powers, and then it's just Robin facing him. Robin then so there's an argument with Cyborg and Robin because Cyborg's like something's not right because Beast Boy's not able to, he couldn't get a hold of Beast Boy. And Robin's like, you just hurt him. He got teleported back. It's a complete different dimension. Like maybe your communications can't reach there. And he's like, it just doesn't make sense. And then the next day, Cyborg is eliminated from the tournament because he was supposedly interfering with other competitors when in actuality he had found out the master's secret.
yes, um, I do want to point out because I was actually looking later. The Master of Games appears in 2 more episodes.
Okay. Is it like literally the end of the series or you're just not looking it up?
Uh, there are 2 episodes. They are in season 5. I'm assuming Titans Together is the last episode. So yes, and then there's another episode in season 5 that he appears. I just don't know when in season 5 it is.
I would assume it has to do with the Legion of Doom. Oh no, the yeah,
Um, no,
because he becomes a part of it. Also,
not the not. It's not the Legion of Doom. It's
Masters of Evil,
no, Brotherhood of Evil.
Brotherhood of Evil. So yes, that was the whole episode. And then eventually what happens is they all get sent home, and then the Master of Games brings what we're assuming to be 8 female characters, but we only see Raven, Starfire, and Terra.
Yes, everyone else is shaded out. Um, I because it's funny because at the beginning of this episode, I was like, I feel like this episode should have come before Titan Rising because of the fact that at the beginning we didn't see Terra in the group when they were doing whatever. So I was like, okay, this they like it's one of those things where they released the episodes out of order than they should have been. And then we see her at the end with Raven and Starfire, and I'm like, okay, maybe she was just off doing her own thing. like,
Correct. Which is also
I
not
also
that crazy.
no, I also liked that in it was a showed the difference between where it's like the guys when they got teleported, they were like, "Yeah, let's do it." I don't mind seeing who's the best, and then the girls immediately Starfire's first response is, "This feels wrong."
Agreed. Um, but yeah, I definitely liked it. It was definitely an interesting thing. We got to see new characters, which was good. I just enjoyed it overall. I also like that Speedy is basically Robin, because realistically he is, obviously, but with a bow.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
They both of those characters. Well, I mean, yes and no, is it depends on the iteration that you look at. Because the Green Arrow characters and the Batman characters have like pretty stark difference in personality usually.
yes, but in this
In
universe, they
this
don't.
universe, they're basically the same, at least in the idea of needing to be the best.
Yes, correct. Well, basically, the proteges are very much the same, at the
Yeah,
very least, because we don't get to see their masters, obviously. So then, the next episode was the betrayal of it all, which was sad.
yeah.
Um,
And this one really showed that like obviously I don't remember what how I thought when I was a kid, but like in this one it seemed like Tara went to Slade, but it wasn't of her own choice. When I was a kid, I was like, okay, Tara joined Slade because she felt betrayed by them and whatever. And in this episode, it really shows that it was she did this not like she didn't do it willingly, and she still cared about them. Uh, which I just thought was I did think it was very interesting.
it changed the dynamic, but at the same time, it made me feel like obviously she had her own demons that we already are aware of for the most part, but
Yep.
the idea was the fact of like she felt like she had no choice but to go to Slade.
Hmm.
Which obviously was not the case, but this was also part of Slade's whole thing because
He
he
can
followed her
manipulate.
enough. Well, he
Yeah.
followed her enough to know what was going on. But such a good episode.
No, this one was a great episode. Just like teaming up, being getting close to them, having friends, and then come to find out that she sabotaged them, and
Correct. And then she tried to save Beast Boy, and then he freaked out.
yep. It was such a heartbreak. The end of the episode with him being a dog in her bed with the heart. That one was just that just shattered me when I forgot about that, and it was like, oh my god.
No, absolutely. And speaking of shattered, now we have fractured in the next episode, which is when Robin breaks his arm while chasing after Johnny Rancid.
Yeah,
And then we have the fourth dimension creature that is his doppelganger in that universe, which is Dick Grayson backwards, is his name.
I'm trying to see if I can because I have to see. It is Nosjarg Kisid.
Yeah,
Kosyard and Kisid.
yeah. It's just Dick Grayson backwards. Um, and it's funny because they show it when they show it like come out in like how he says it, and then behind it's Dick Grayson.
Yep.
Um, it was well done. We get to see the dimensional breaking of it all as well. We see literally reality shattering, which made this episode like because it's animated and everything else, they could change the art style so well
Yeah.
to show that reality is broken. And I think because of that, it made the episode so much better.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously when Johnny Rancid takes over the manipulation of the reality, seeing how he perceives everything or how he wants the world to be was kind of cool. But also the heavy hitting of Johnny Rancid calling Robin a boy, a child. I don't know, it just kept making me uncomfortable because we don't know how old Johnny Rancid is.
Oh, I mean, he just the constant thing for him too was that obviously calling him a kid or boy, but baby bird, little
Yep.
bird,
Yep.
um, and
All of them. All the
de-
above.
degrading him.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. But it was a good episode. It was very nice to see all of it together. I just thought it was kind of cool in general. It was definitely a fun take to the whole thing. Um, but it was actually pretty cool.
I just love Larry the entire time, just trying to fix his arm for most of the episode. And he's like, "Oops, oops, oops."
Oops, 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 oops. Yeah, it was just well done in general. And then obviously it all gets fixed. Johnny Rancey gets beat up by Robin, and they survive. Reality brings itself back together, and that's how the episode ends. And then we move on to the two-part season finale, which was Aftershocks. I, man, these two episodes.
These were really
No,
okay, like
phenomenal,
yeah,
phenomenal,
yeah,
phenomenal. No,
absolutely. I mean, the entire, like we said, is the entire
no, the
Terra
entire
storyline was
was great.
great. Um, really shows how hurt she is and how messed up Slade is. Um, and just her powers reaching potentially full potential, what she can actually do.
Hmm.
Um, creating creatures, being able to throw the Titans around. Uh,
But what I like how they show the difference between part one and part two is
mm,
part one they're holding back because they don't want to hurt her, and
yeah,
part two is them not holding back.
absolutely. Um, just really, really brought that out. But it's funny is that I don't know. Was it in episode one where Beast Boy was like, yeah, it was episode one where the rest of the Titans were like, no, we have to take her down, and Beast Boy was like, no, we have to give her one more shot. It's not her. We can get to her. And uh, then in episode two, they were all just like, nah, forget it. And Beast Boy was not having it. He was very pissed, which was great to see because the goofy character like Beast Boy actually
No,
being serious.
this was his serious moment for sure. So episode one is basically um, Tara is officially evil. She works with Slade. She releases Cinder Black, Plasmos, and Over
Overload.
Charge Overload. Um, and then uses the neural technology to um, make Slade control them as well. And then they split up to take out each. So the Teen Titans split up to try to take down each one of the three. However, Tara comes in to wipe them out two by two technically, and then one by themselves. Was
Raven was
Raven
by
first?
herself.
Correct. And then
Um,
we assume that they all got brought down to I mean, obviously underground. And then we hear them being like, we're not going to be holding back anymore. We're done." And then episode two is that Slade took over the entire city and was going to get ready to take over the world. But that's when the Teen Titans come back out of hiding to then beat Tara, who runs scared, and Slade beats her up because she's been a bad girl. And
don't ever do that again. Do not ever do that again. All
I'll
right.
try. I'll say I won't. I mean, I
I
won't.
do not. I do not want to hear that coming out of your mouth ever again.
We're going to be adding that to the list of things Scott
I am
said.
over. Yep.
You're
Here we.
Oh gosh, I love group chats. Um, so anyway, the second episode is them coming out basically of the underground and beating up Tara. She runs away. Slade then beats her up. She then fights Slade mentally and then causes a massive volcano eruption, which she then stops using all of her powers. However, it causes her to be covered in. I guess you would. I assume the idea was she was covered in magma and then she turned into stone.
Yeah.
She got
Yep.
petrified, basically.
Yep.
Um, that's how I took it. I think Mike can agree for right now that I am. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah. No, I
And then
think that's definitely what how that was, and I like how at the end of the episode they come and lay a memorial
lay the
down for
memorials.
her, and
I
said that
just
they're
find
going
it
to try
odd
to reverse
that
the effects.
they kept her underground though. I for some reason remember. I thought the statue was above ground.
No, that I did remember being
I don't
underground.
know why. I don't know why, but I couldn't. I remembered it. I remembered that particular scene differently. But it was the same thing. Like they went over there and they like they gave the flowers and everything else, but they didn't. But I for some reason thought it was above the ground. But it was a great way to end. We also know that Slade was melted, and I also like when we see the mask melting that
Yeah.
it looks like a demon,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
which
Foreshadow.
yeah, foreshadowing big time. So next week we're going to be talking about season 3, and we're going to be seeing how that goes. So that being said, we're going to be moving on to a character spotlight from me. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So his name is Eric Jostin. Okay, he was born in Milwaukee and was raised on a farm 30 miles outside of Madison, Wisconsin. He was the son of Jonathan and Martha Jostin. He was one brother from a large Midwestern farming family, which included Carl and Conrad. His sister Lindy died in an accident, and Eric blamed himself, thinking he could have prevented her death. Wrecked with guilt, he ran away to join the U.S. Army. When he was later discovered smuggling, he was late. Sorry, when he was later discovered smuggling, he ran away from the army to become a soldier for hire. Sometime later, Eric was hired by a Nazi scientist, Baron Zimmo, to smuggle stolen technology into Zemo's secret South American stronghold, where Eric worked sometime as one of Zemo's guards. With this equipment, Zemo built a machine that could project an unknown form of mutagen radiation, aka ionic rays, capable of bestowing superhuman physical powers to a subject. Zemo's first subject was the industrialist Simon Williams, who later became known as Wonder Man. When Zemo fled his South American base shortly thereafter, he left his ionic ray machine functionable. Where Eric, who had just been wounded by the South American authorities in the latest smuggling venture, sought refuge in Zemo's now abandoned fortress and learned of Zemo's machine. I'm reading from my phone, so I've already seen it.
I know.
There,
I was waiting to see your face.
Jostin came to mystical attention of the Enchantress, the Asgardian goddess who had been a former ally of Zemo. The Enchantress offered Eric the chance to submit to the ionic ray treatment, and he readily accepted. When the radiation treatment was through, he emerged with physical powers roughly equivalent to those of Wonder Man. The Enchantress produced a costume for him, dubbing him the Power Man. Traveling to the United States, Power Man assisted Enchantress in her scheme to discredit and defeat the Avengers. When the plot failed, the Enchantress disappeared, and the love smitten Power Man surrendered to the Avengers, and the Avengers refused to press charges. However, the Power Man was released. Power Man soon met and allied himself with the criminal swordsman and Russian spy, the Black Widow. And, allied himself with the criminal swordsman and the Russian spy, the Black Widow. My apologies. Who at the time had been brainwashed by the Red Chinese, very racist, in a battle with the Avengers. Power Man. This was a time where comics was crazy. Power Man and the Swordsman were defeated, but not taken into custody. Shortly thereafter, they were pitted unsuccessfully against Captain America by the Red Skull. The skull returned the two to where he had found them, and shortly afterwards, the two partners were summoned by the Mandarin to aid him in his scheme for world conquest. Defeated by the Avengers in South America, Power Man and Swordsman managed to escape while extradited back to the United States. Later, the two contacted by the criminal Grim Reaper and invited to join his lethal legion for the express purpose of extracting their revenge upon the Avengers. Although the Legion managed to capture most of the active Avengers, Power Man was defeated by Vision. Vision donned on Power Man's costume and infiltrated the Legion's headquarters to rescue his comrades. The Avengers escaped and subdued their captors. This time, the Avengers pressed charges, and Power Man and most of his teammates were tried and imprisoned. When Eric was released, he learned that the name Power Man had been assumed by the hero for hire, Luke Cage. He actually went to go battle Luke Cage because he wanted his name back. Shockingly, Eric lost, so therefore could not be called Power Man anymore. His strength conferred upon by basically that was made by Zemo's machine was on the wane. Apparently, as time was going on, he was getting weaker and weaker. Count Nefari, who had offered him a chance to regain his former strength in exchange for special services, sought him out. Eric performed all of the errands that were asked of him and was subject to strength enhancing treatment. However, the bargain was all of a scheme by the Count to steal the power of Eric and his other henchmen for himself. He was able to escape, and while the Avengers attacked the Count Nefaria, he returned to the docks where he went under the name the Smuggler, where he set up a successful smuggling operations for the black market goods, where Spider-Man stumbled upon his business and, well, now his powers were a fraction of what it used to be. Spider-Man was able to defeat him with ease and arrested him. Another name that he's gone under now, he goes by Goliath now. Notice how he's gone by many names. When he finally was set free, Eric left the East Coast and headed towards California. When in prison, Eric had heard of a criminal scientist in Los Angeles who had specialized in the study of superhuman powers, Dr. Carl Malice. Arranging a meeting with Malice, Eric again made a bargain to renew his lost strength. However, unlike the other guy, Malice did not renege on his deal and not only enhanced Eric's strength to its original level, but also subjected him to an extract of the growth formula created by none other than Dr. Henry Pym, the original Giant Man, also known as Ant-Man and Goliath and even Yellow Jacket at one point. Malice acquired it from a patient who he had stolen it from, Pym's one-time partner, Dr. Bill Foster, who was the Goliath and second Giant Man. The Pym formula reacted to the strength enhancing treatment to give Eric far more physical power than he had ever known before. Eric decided to take on the name Goliath, deriving the satisfaction from stealing another hero's name um, and making it a villain's name as well. Goliath rampaged throughout Los Angeles in a bid to make his might known to the world. He had challenged the West Coast Avengers, which included Wonder Man, whose powers he had once imitated, and Hawkeye, who was going by the name Goliath because he was using Pym particles as well. Obviously, him and Hawkeye, aka Goliath at the time, were battling out to see who deserved the name Goliath. Guess what? Eric
He
lost.
he lost.
He lost and was not able to keep the name once again. Um, his new name, Atlas, mostly due to the fact that he joins Baron Zemo to turn into part of what's called the Thunderbolts. So the idea is he becomes Atlas and joins the um, evil Avengers is the best way to put it because that's what the Thunderbolts are, to basically take over and try to beat the Avengers. Obviously, they're unsuccessful. They then have a battle. They then get separated, and the Thunderbolts get sent to Counter Earth, where while they're stuck there, actually try to become heroes. So when they come back, when they're able to finally get back to regular Earth, they actually become heroes and team up with the Avengers to try to stop Baron Zemo and other villains at the time. And finally, the Thunderbolts disbanded, and eventually Atlas was recovers from his injuries and temporarily joined the Defenders. Later on, he actually joined up with Wonder Man's Revengers, where Atlas's reason for joining the group was that he had been rejected many times to join the initiative, and so because of that, he wanted to join the Revengers. At some point, Atlas was captured by Shield and incarcerated at Pleasant Hill. Shield used the Kobik project on Atlas, which turned him into an unnamed peasant hill mailman. So Pleasant Hill was basically a prison where villains were brainwashed into civilians in the city, and they were basically monitored by Shield.
They were brainwashed into civilians.
So what happened was so for Atlas's purposes, he was brainwashed and thought he lived his life as a mailman his entire life.
Oh, okay. So okay,
So yeah, so they were brainwashed into thinking that they were these civilians that they
they were just
are.
regular people. Okay,
Yep, and never been anything else. So Zemo restored him to his original self, and Atlas had been was seen as part of Zemo's loyalists. He hasn't been seen fighting the Avengers, unlike the others. And then, following the Pleasant Hill incident, Atlas joined up with Winter Soldier's incarnation of the Thunderbolts with the goal to prevent Shield from continuing the Kobik project. Atlas was later approached by Baron Zemo to be a part of the third incarnation of the Masters of Evil, in order to and wanted to recruit him. He resisted, and the Masters of Evils actually attacked him. During his fight against the Masters of Evil, Atlas and the Thunderbolts were defeated and captured. During the opening salvo, Atlas, Moonstone, and Fixer defected to the Masters of Evil after Baron Zemo used the Kobik's abilities to send Winter Soldier back in time. After the Kobik shattered, Atlas assisted in searching for her fragments, sorry, in order for Baron Zemo to put her back together. He later joined the army of evil, Baron Zemo's army of evil, along with other masters of evil, and aided Hydra's takeover of the United States. After Hydra took over, Atlas and the rest of the army of evil were all placed in status by Hydra out of fear of what they would do if they were allowed to remain free. After Hydra's regime fell, Atlas was likely awakened from his status and taken into custody. So let's talk about his powers. He's actually an ionic energy form, so he has basically very similar powers to Wonder Man. He has immeasurable strength, invulnerability. He has limitless stamina, enhanced perceptions and reflexes. His energy form allows him to be. He allows him to fly, and has energy manipulation. He has energy is able to transfer energy from one thing to another. He has pan-dimensional phasing, which apparently allows him to go to two different dimensions. Um, but specifically the Cosmonian home dimension, which I'm assuming is an energy-based dimension, but I don't know that for sure. Apparently, he's immortal. Um, that's just one of his powers. I wish I had a better answer for you as to how that works, but because of him being basically energy, he can self-sustain himself. So he basically does not need to eat, sleep, drink, or breathe. He has ionic healing powers. He has the ability to alternate his size. He has mass particle transference as well. He's an expert in hand-to-hand combat. He's a trained pilot, a trained marksman, and weirdly enough, his weakness is adamantium.
interesting.
Apparently, adamantium is one of the few materials that can actually harm his his physical body, which I find to be interesting. So, as always, Marvel has a power grid out of 7. His intelligence is a 2 because it's considered normal. His strength is a 7 out of 7 because it's considered to be immeasurable. His speed is a 2 because it is considered normal. His durability is a 7 because it's thought to be immeasurable as well. His energy projection I find weird is a 1 because technically in their eyes he doesn't have energy projection. He's just a body of energy, which is very weird to me, but whatever. And his fighting skills is a 4 because he's an expert fighter. Um, so I thought this was interesting because Atlas is considered a villain of Wonder Man. He starts off being basically the same being as Wonder Man, but goes by a different name in the beginning and eventually turns into Atlas, which is a name that sticks with him for the rest of his career after trying multiple names. Um, and he has the potential of being Wonder Man's villain in Wonder Man.
So, what was his last name again? You said his first name was Eric. What was his last name?
Jostin?
Interesting. The reason why I was asking is
Josten.
the reason why I was asking was because I was this week I've been seeing a lot of things come up on Twitter about people talking about the upcoming show and whatever, and people are thinking that the villain of Wonder Man is going to be uh Wonder Man's brother. And they were and they were saying Eric Williams. So when I heard you say Eric, I was like, wait, did I didn't hear you catch say the last name. So um when you some of this stuff that you were saying was like kind of going along with like some of the stuff that I was looking into for the other one, and uh I just thought it was interesting that, just was curious about that, because especially because his brothers, according to this, is the Grim Reaper. So I'm like,
Yes.
um, so I when you were
Which
like doing the character changes, I was like, is one of them going to become the Grim Reaper? And like, it makes sense, and but it didn't,
no,
obviously.
so Atlas teams up with the Grim Reaper to go after Wonder Man, in one storyline. So I thought I do know that, but it's just one of those things where I don't know. I mean, my guess would be it would make more sense for them to have him face somebody who's similar to him,
Hmm.
because however he gets his powers, somebody else could easily get it that way too.
Yeah,
And so the concept would be somebody himself. That's why I'm thinking Atlas. I'm not stating that they won't do Grim, the Grim Reaper,
yeah. I'm not saying that you were
but
not. I was, yeah, just
I'm more
saying what I've
stating
seen.
that I would state that it would make more sense to do it the other way. But to be fair, they've been doing a good job lately. That as long as they do a good job, I don't think I really care.
Yeah. I don't.
But
I mean, I feel like at the this situation can go either way, because obviously we don't really know much about this story yet at all. They haven't
correct,
shown us much in the comics,
correct.
so like either way, with like your storyline going with just somebody trying to take someone else's power, wants to be them, whatever.
Mhm.
Like, this absolutely makes sense, but at the same time, going toward the line of his brother,
Which also could easily
it
work
could
as well,
also easily work if they
because it's a
tell the
jealousy
story
thing
proper.
too.
Yeah. Um.
No, you're absolutely right. So either one can work, and I agree with you there. It's just one of those things where we're gonna have to wait and see. But that is going to be it for this episode. So next week we're going to be talking about any trailers that come out. We're then going to be moving on to talking about season 3 of Teen Titans and a character spotlight from Mike. So if you made it this far into the video, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Scott and Mike signing out of the Black Heel Podcast. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.